how am I going to compete? They've got more salespeople, more marketing, more everything. So I said, here's my strategy. I brought all the engineers into the room. I said, okay, we are going to order $1 million worth of wafers as soon as you release your design the very first time. So I went in blind, like when you do Teen Patti, you go in blind. So I went in blind for $1 million, and I told my engineers, that is how we are going to get a 6-month advantage over the customer, over our competition. And so in a sense, think of all the things that I've done. I have executed a strategy for getting time to market, but I have lined up my engineers with their back to the river. And if they make a mistake, the company's closing, they're losing their jobs, and everything is over. So in a situation like this, human beings work with each other and check and double check and triple check the design. All the communication starts happening, and they are extra cautious about everything. And so when our first chip came out, it worked. And I had this $1 million of wafers coming in with a finished working product the very first time. And when we walked into customers, we said, they said, why are you coming to see us? We don't want to check your samples and all that. We are checking Intel samples. We said that, why don't you check our samples, because we are in production right now. They said, impossible. And so we walk into all these different computer companies and say, let me give you a demo. And they would look at it and they're blown away, and then they said, okay, when can you deliver? So they were expecting an answer 6 months. I said, give me an order, I'll ship you the product tomorrow. And in 1 year, my sales went from 0 to $25 million with $19 million profit, because none of my competition was in the marketplace. They had another 6 months of iterative testing and everything going on. And here, I had the whole market that I could go and promote my product, and there was no competition. So with using the right sales, right development strategy, by using Sun Tzu's strategy of how to get your team to execute for you, you end up with an amazingly successful company. And then we repeated the same thing with the next generation, and the next generation, and the next generation, until we became the world's largest chipset company in about 4 years, and became kind of famous. I mean, I would walk into Taiwan, I would walk into Hong Kong, Singapore, or Korea, and everybody's heard about this fantastic success story called OPTi. So, an amazing entrepreneurial success. So after 7 years of doing that, started a new company called Selectica. So this is an enterprise software company. And in this particular case, another super bright engineer from IIT Kanpur, 75 batch. He's an artificial intelligence expert, works at Xerox PARC, and he came to me and said, look, I've got this amazing artificial intelligence that I've written in Java. And I've never heard of Java. I thought Java was an island in Indonesia. But he said, I've written it in Java. And so he said that, look, this internet is going to take off. This is 1996. It's in Java. And we are going to do artificial intelligence on the internet so everybody can use these new amazing tools which we have developed at Xerox PARC on the internet. And I said, okay, let's do it. So we teamed up, and from 2 people, we raised a lot of money from venture capitalists who all loved the dream that we were selling, and we raised $35 million. But we had no idea about the enterprise software. We had never done enterprise software. I was a semi guy. My partner was an artificial intelligence guru. So none of us had done enterprise software. We did not know what CIO stood for. CIO is chief, it's not CIA, it's CIO. So CIO is Chief Information Officer, okay? It's not Central Intelligence Agency. So we had no relationships with CIOs or anything, and we did not know how to market or how much to sell the product for. But in 5 years, we became the world leader. You know, we had beaten all these big companies. We had beaten Oracle. We had beaten IBM Services. We had beaten Trilogy and Calico, who were other companies in the same space. And now we were signing $10 million license deals. IBM paid us $10 million to configure their mainframes. GE paid us $10 million to configure their MRI equipment. Cisco paid us $10 million to configure their routers and switches, and they're still using our product. Dell gave us $10 million to configure their servers and their blade switches and so on. So our software got used by all these big companies, and we had 800 employees worldwide in 5 years, 400 in India, 400 abroad, and so when we went public, we were the hottest company in the IPO market with a $5 billion valuation, and every employee in our company, all 800 of them, were millionaires. From the receptionist to everybody was a millionaire. So what did we do here? So here, we executed the principle of it's okay to lose the battle, but not lose the war. So what is that, how do you apply that? So basically, see, we did not know this industry very well. We are breaking in new territory. So obviously, we would not have the finished product, or would not be a complete solution. So 2 years into the life of the company, Sun came to us, Sun Microsystems, and put a 100-page RFQ, request for quote, about something that will help them configure their servers. 100-page. And 10% of that particular RFQ, or request for quote, we could do very well because we are the world's greatest configuration engine, based on what my partner had done. But 90% we did not know, you know, everything that had to be done. And my engineers said, look, we can't do this, we can't do that, etc. And so what I did was, I said, look, if we are going to be successful in this configuration business, we have to win these big deals. So I shut off all the other projects in the company, and I said, the whole company, all 30 of us, are only going to work on the Sun deal, right? And so everybody is working on the Sun deal for 6 months, and in 6 months, we built a reporting system, a diagnostic system, a monitoring system, a reporting, all kinds of additional systems around the product. And actually, we did such a good job working non-stop, because, you know, when you tell people you've got to take that hill, you know, they work non-stop. And we became, you know, it was finally a fight between us and the world leader, which was Trilogy in the marketplace at that time. And finally, like, Sun, even though they felt we had potential to have the right solution, they went with the safe solution, which is Trilogy, because they already had 500 employees, we were 30 people, you know, things like that. So they gave Trilogy the product. So, you know, our engineers who had worked night and day for 6 months were disheartened. You know, they're saying, we are finished. You know, we put all our effort, we have shut down all the other projects, we did this, we lost the order. And they were completely disheartened. And at that point, what I did was I got the whole team together. And I said, look, in 6 months, what you guys have done is actually taken 2 years of work and compressed it into 6 months. So really, we have not lost, we have actually won. Because we have almost caught up with the competition, right? We have almost caught up with the competition. So we have actually gone ahead and we may have lost the battle, but actually we are even more prepared to win the war. So another 3 months goes by, and now Siemens puts a big order in front of us, another 100-page document. So this time we were much better prepared because of all the work we did with Sun. So we walk into Siemens, and here is the CIO of Siemens. He's a German guy, Klaus Strassmann, and he says, yeah, you've got a good configuration engine, and you've done a lot of things, but you think my salesman can use your product? You know, it requires an engineer to use your product. But is the engineer going to be the person doing the order entry and choosing the product, etc.? It's going to be my product. If you're going to sell me a product, it has to be idiot-proof, because the salesman should be able to take the order and everything else. And so he said, okay, get out. So I said, Herr Strassmann, you know, tell me what I have to do in order to make this thing so that you can use it. A Siemens salesman who doesn't understand English can take an order. So, you know, this guy, he was nearing his retirement age. He said, okay, I'll give you a document. So he gave me a document, you know, a 50-page document. And I told my engineers, shut down all the other projects. We are going to implement what this German CIO said. And, you know, after about 90 days, I go back to Herr Strassmann, I show him this, and he's first of all shocked, because so many vendors or companies walk in and say, tell me what to do, and they never execute after they get a request to fix something. So we go in there and basically, you know, show it to him, and he says, you did this, but you know, I need this. And he sent us back. And I said, Herr Strassmann, can you give me a spec for this, and this? And all of this went back and forth for 18 months. So for 18 months, I'm not chasing other customers. I'm trying to get my product to work for just Siemens, but I'm making it idiot-proof. I'm making it easy to use. It was already one of the best systems out there. And now, 18 months have gone by, and now we get an order request from IBM. So now, you know, the competition says, hey, Selectica is gone because they lost Sun, they've not been in the market, you know, they're gone, you know. But when this IBM request came in, we walked in and we had an amazingly idiot-proof, polished product that worked on all parameters, on all fronts, better than anybody else. And you know, we won that order. And then GE's order request came in. We won that one. And third, then Cisco and Dell and all of them. And after that, essentially it got to the point where we never lost. And at that point, you know, you become the leader. So the key here was, number one, okay to lose the battle, but don't get disheartened that you walk away. Number two is you have to learn continuously and keep improving, and you've got to find those early evangelists who are going to help you improve your product. And you've got to treat them like God, because even though they are tough on you, they're making you better every day. And ultimately, God is not going to enjoy the riches that you're going to get. It's going to be you who are going to enjoy the benefits of all the hard work He made you do. So you've got to really treat these kinds of people as God. So that's how Selectica, when we went public, nobody could touch us. We were the world's best, and the world's best gets huge value. So finally, you know, then we started off Dino, and here again, huge competition, videos free. You know, the product you're selling is free in the market because everybody's tussling. And so here we went ahead and, you know, ended up building up a full-fledged product, and it's a big market, and everybody wants a piece of this $500 billion TV market and entertainment market. So we ended up building a full-fledged cloud-based platform, and now it's just being the technology is being sold across the board. So coming to now the next generation. So the great thing for this generation, all of you, is that you're coming in when the world is changing, and the world is changing across the globe at the same time. Previously, technology would start in the US, and then 5 years later it goes to Europe, another 5 years later it goes to Asia, Southeast Asia, then we finally get the technology 20 years later. That's what happened in the steel industry, that's what happened in the automotive industry, that's what happened but in the latest industries, we are getting the technologies and the impact of the new technologies the same time as everybody else. So smartphones and tablets, which are providing mobile internet platform, we have it here, same time that everybody has it there. 3G, 4G, in spite of our political scams, we will get it, we are getting it, it's going to happen. If you look at social networking, I think there are more Indians on Facebook than any other country in the world. So all of these new technologies are revolutionizing human behavior, the way we eat, the way we entertain ourselves, the way we transact business, everything is changing. Now that is the golden era for entrepreneurship. That is the time when we have the opportunity to create mega startups.